Before you close your eyes tonight, before you turn off the light, before your mind begins to drift into sleep, I want you to stay here with me for just a moment. Not in a rushed way, not with pressure, just gently, quietly. Because I know something about nights like this. I know that even when your body is tired, your mind doesn't always follow. I know that you can lay down in a silent room with everything calm around you and still feel something heavy inside. Thoughts that didn't bother you during the day suddenly come back stronger. Conversations replay in your head. Worries about tomorrow begin to grow. And even small things start to feel big in the quiet of the night. It's like your mind refuses to let go. Like it's trying to solve everything before you allow yourself to rest. And that feeling, that tension, that quiet pressure in your chest, it can make sleep feel far away. You tell yourself to relax, you try to ignore it, but your thoughts keep moving. And slowly, without realizing, you carry the entire weight of your day into the night. The stress, the expectations, the things you didn't finish, the things you couldn't control, the things you wish went differently. And it all stays with you, right here, right now. But what if tonight you didn't have to carry all of that? What if this moment, right now, was not about fixing everything, but about releasing it? Because the truth is you were never meant to hold everything on your own. You were never meant to solve every problem before you rest. You were never meant to carry tomorrow while you're still in today. And yet, we do it without even noticing. We hold on tightly, thinking it makes us stronger, when in reality, it only makes us tired. So tonight, we're going to do something different. Not by force, not by trying harder, but by letting go. Gently, slowly, without pressure. And right now, I want you to take a deep breath. Not a quick one, a real one. Inhale slowly, feel it fill your chest, and then let it go. Again, slowly. Because your body has been holding tension all day, even if you didn't realize it. Your shoulders, your jaw, your breathing, everything has been slightly tight. And now, you're giving yourself permission to release it. Not everything at once, just a little. And as you breathe, something begins to shift. The noise in your mind softens just a little. The pressure lowers just a little. And that's enough, because peace doesn't come all at once. It comes in moments like this. Quiet, steady, real. And tonight, you're allowing that moment to begin. And as you stay here with me, something inside you is already beginning to soften. Not because everything in your life has suddenly changed, but because you're finally giving yourself permission to pause. And that pause is powerful, because all day long, you've been moving, thinking, reacting, carrying, holding. You've been answering messages, making decisions, dealing with people, managing responsibilities, and somewhere in all of that, you never truly stopped. You never gave your mind a moment to breathe. You just kept going, pushing through, telling yourself you'll rest later. But now later is here, and your mind is still trying to run at the same speed. Still trying to solve, still trying to predict, still trying to control. And that's why it feels heavy, because it never got the chance to slow down. But right now, you are changing that. Right now, you are stepping out of that constant motion and into stillness. And stillness might feel unfamiliar at first. It might even feel uncomfortable, because you're used to thinking, used to doing, used to staying mentally active. But stay here, don't rush away from it. Because in this stillness, something important happens. You begin to separate yourself from your thoughts. You begin to notice them without being controlled by them. You begin to see that not every thought needs your attention. Not every worry needs an answer tonight. Not every problem needs to be solved before you sleep. And that realization creates space. Space for calm. Space for clarity. Space for peace. And as that space grows, your mind begins to follow. The thoughts slow down, the urgency fades, the pressure lowers. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're no longer holding everything so tightly. And in that release, something deeper begins to take its place. And as this calm continues to settle, your body begins to respond in a way you might not even notice at first. Your breathing becomes slower, deeper, more natural. The tension you were holding in your shoulders starts to melt away. Your jaw relaxes, your chest feels lighter, and your entire system begins to shift from alert to rest. Because your body's been waiting for this moment all day, waiting for you to stop, waiting for you to release the pressure, waiting for you to tell it, "You're safe now." And that's what you're doing right now. You're telling your body, without words, that it can let go, that it doesn't need to stay tense, that it doesn't need to be ready for the next problem. And as your body relaxes, your mind follows even more. The thoughts that felt overwhelming start to lose their intensity. The worries that felt urgent begin to feel distant. And you start to realize something important. Most of the stress you were feeling was not coming from this moment. It was coming from what your mind was creating, from the future you were imagining, from the outcomes you were trying to control, from the pressure you were placing on yourself. But right now, in this exact moment, you are safe. You are here. You are breathing. And nothing needs to be solved right now. And when you truly feel that, not just think it, but feel it, something shifts deeply inside you. Because your mind no longer needs to fight. It no longer needs to stay active. It can finally begin to rest. Now, listen carefully, because this is where everything changes. Your mind will try to go back. It will try to bring up another thought, another worry, another what if. That's what it's used to doing. But now you are aware of it. And awareness gives you a choice. You can follow that thought, or you can let it pass. You can get pulled back into the noise, or you can return to this calm. And every time you choose calm, even if it's just for a few seconds, you are training your mind differently. You are showing it that it doesn't need to react to everything, that it doesn't need to hold on to every thought, that it can let go. And the more you do that, the easier it becomes. Because peace is not something you force, it's something you allow. It's something that enters when you stop resisting it. And right now, you are allowing it. You are choosing not to fight your thoughts, but to observe them, not to control everything, but to release it. And that changes your entire state. Because when your state changes, your experience changes. And suddenly, the night feels different. Not heavy but calm. Not overwhelming but quiet. Not stressful but peaceful. And as you stay in this space, something even deeper begins to happen. You begin to trust this feeling. You begin to realize that you don't need to stay in constant tension to be in control. That you don't need to think about everything to be prepared. That you don't need to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Because that's what has been exhausting you. Not your life itself, but the way your mind has been trying to handle it. Trying to predict everything, trying to avoid every problem, trying to stay ahead of everything at all times. And that's not sustainable. That's why you feel tired, even when you haven't done much physically. Because mental weight is real weight. But tonight, you are releasing it. You are choosing to trust, even without having all the answers. You are choosing to rest, even if everything is not resolved. And that is real strength. Not forcing control, but allowing peace. And as you allow that peace, your body prepares for rest. Your mind slows down naturally, and sleep begins to come closer. Not because you forced it, but because you removed what was blocking it. And now, before you fully drift into sleep, stay here for just one more moment. Let this feeling settle deeply inside you. You don't need to rush. You don't need to think about what comes next. Right now, this moment is enough. And I want you to say this quietly in your mind, slowly, without pressure. I release this day. I release my thoughts. I release my worries. I allow myself to rest. Again, I release this day. I release my thoughts. I release my worries. I allow myself to rest. Let those words sink in, not just as words, but as a feeling. Because tonight, you are not carrying everything anymore. Tonight, you are not holding on to every thought. Tonight, you are allowing yourself to be at peace. And as your eyes begin to close, remember this: nothing needs to be solved right now. Everything can wait. Tomorrow will come, and you will handle it then with a clearer mind, with calmer energy, with more strength. But right now, this moment is for rest, for stillness, for peace. And as you drift into sleep, gently, naturally, peacefully, know that you are exactly where you need to be. And for the first time today, your mind is finally quiet.